Ingrid, thank you. Right now, we continue to follow breaking news, a fire at a doctor's office in Asheville.
And News 13's Victoria Dunkel is there live and has the latest. Vic, what can you tell us about this?
Well, right now it looks like this building is completely full of flames and now the damage of it. Let me talk to Kelley Klope. She's the public information officer for Asheville Fire Department. You told me when you all arrived earlier this morning, just about, what, an hour and a half ago, it was full of flames?
Yes, about 3:30 is when we arrived on the scene, and it was definitely fully involved. It had started in the lower level, worked its way to the upper floor. It is a two-story, much older home. It's a 1922 built home.
And let me point out, as we take a look at some pictures that we have sent in from earlier, this is a home that was transformed into a medical doctor's office, Biltmore Family Medicine, right?
Right. It's currently being used as a family practice, and nobody was inside at the time. The owners are on site now. Unfortunately, this is a huge loss for them, and we feel our hearts go out to them for sure.
Now, troubles, challenges as you got here to fight this fire?
I think the challenging part is that it was such an older home, and the type of construction, they call it a balloon construction, is possible. So that just means there's not a lot of fire breaks in the wall, and that fire can spread quickly into the ceiling and roof area.
Now, any indication as to how much was lost in this fire? Because, I mean, a doctor's office, that's a lot of equipment.
It is. I do not know all the equipment they had inside. It is pretty much a total loss is what it looks like right now.
We see smoke coming from the top there out of the roof at this point. Is this fire out or contained, or what are we dealing with?
The fire is contained. They're still working some hot spots that are probably in the roof and the ceiling area. We were able to do an initial attack inside, but pulled crews out for safety reasons and started doing a defensive attack. And they've gone back and forth trying to extinguish this fire. But like I said, it's in that roof and ceiling area, and that's what they're concerned with right now.
Okay, I'm going to let you get back checking out what's going on here. We're going to check back with you throughout the morning. Thanks, Kelley, so much. Appreciate it. Well, as you just heard, we're here at Biltmore Family Medicine. It's on Dunstan Road here in Asheville. The fire started early this morning around 3:30 is when they got the call. Right now, as Kelley Klope just mentioned, this is a total loss, and they're working to put out the final hotspots. We're going to be here live covering this story for you all morning long. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
All right, we're covering breaking news in Asheville. A doctor's office caught fire overnight.
And News 13's Victoria Dunkel is live at Biltmore Family Medicine. So, Vic, is this fire finally out?
As you can see behind me, no, it is not. Just in the last few minutes, we came back out here to get ready for our live shot. You can see earlier those flames weren't popping through the roof, but now they are back out there. That is why the fire crews realize it is going to be a long morning for them. They've been here since about 3:30 this morning. That is when Kelley Klope, who's the public information officer for Asheville Fire Department, told me they got the call. This is at number 1 St. Dunstans Road, and as you mentioned, it is Biltmore Family Medicine. Now, this is about a 1922 built home is what we've been told. And so because of the way they were building homes back then, there really isn't any kind of firewall to prevent it from spreading. Klope told me that when they arrived, it was full of flames. They were able to do some fighting on it on the first floor, but it had already done extensive damage to the second floor. And as you can see, it's in the roof construction area. You can see it's coming through that roof line right now. We have been told the owners are here at the scene. I do hope to get a moment with them and see what information they can share. But let me tell you this. This is a doctor's office. There was no one living there, so the fire crews were able to make sure no one was in the building and were able to take a different approach to this. They are fighting this defensively, and they say that that is going to be giving them a little more ability to make sure that it doesn't spread to other buildings, and at this point there are no injuries tied to this fire. Of course, you can see this is far from over, and we will be here all morning long reporting and bringing you the live updates as the crews work to put out this fire at Biltmore Family Medicine here on 1 St. Dunstan Road in Asheville. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
We continue our live coverage of a doctor's office fire overnight in Asheville.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel is at Biltmore Family Medicine. Vic, this has been a stubborn fire this morning, no question about it.
It really absolutely has, Jay. You said it so well, because you can see behind me, the roof line is still producing a lot of smoke. There are flames in the upper floor of the building and into the attic area. That is what Kelley Klope, the public information officer from Asheville Fire, has told me. Now, as we take a look at some of the video that we shot when we first arrived on the scene, you can see it was a pretty intense fire. They had a lot of work on their hands, and they were trying to get through the information and get the knowledge they needed in order to attack this fire in the right way. One thing we can tell you, this is a business. It's a home built in the 1920s, but it has been transformed into an office building. And once they confirmed no one was in the building, they changed their tactic.
We are doing a defensive attack at this time. We initially did have crews in the building, and we had to pull them out for the defensive attack for safety reasons.
Now, a couple of things I have picked up for you in the last half hour as we've been out here. We have found out that the crews have been able to get into that lower level of this building and start pulling out things like computers and some other salvageable items, which has been a little bit of a relief to the owners of this practice. Dr. Robert Anderson is the owner of this practice. He did not want to go on camera with us at this time. Very understandable about that. But Kelley Klope was able to talk to him and found out if you are a patient at Biltmore Family Medicine, please know they will be contacting you in person by phone and letting you know what the next step will be. So if you are a patient here, Dr. Anderson says they will be in touch with you. We will be staying out here reporting and covering this as the morning progresses. We'll see you in a half hour and let you know how crews are doing in getting these flames out for good. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
Fire breaks out overnight at a family doctor's office in Asheville.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel continues our live coverage from the scene off Biltmore Avenue. And Vic, we're actually about 3 hours into this fire, so where do we stand right now?
Well, right now things are kind of quieting down. You can see there's still some smoke coming from the roof line at the top of this building. This is at number 1 St. Dunstan Road, and it is home to Biltmore Family Medicine. Now, in the last half hour, we've been watching more crews go in and out of the first floor of the building. They've actually started salvaging what they can. They've been bringing out computers and some other items that belong to this family medicine practice here. Now, as we take a look, the first calls came in around 3:30 this morning, and you saw that crews arrived to find plenty of flames, very destructive fire. What they have said to us is that it has been a bit of a challenge when they first got here, trying to make sure that it wasn't going to spread, but they did keep the fire from impacting any neighboring buildings. It did do a lot of damage to the doctor's office.
Well, the second story is definitely a total loss. We were able to pretty much take care of the fire in the lower section, but then again, it's a constant battle, so it looks as if now it could be a total loss.
Now, the fire marshal here who was on duty with Asheville Fire is on the scene. Kelley Klope told me that is going on right now with the initial investigation. And also, she was able to get information for us from the owner, Dr. Robert Anderson, who's the owner of Biltmore Family Medicine. And he said that the patients will be notified in person by the staff at the practice here. And they do have a plan in place to let all of the patients know what the next step will be. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
All right, now to the latest on that overnight fire at a family doctor's office in Asheville.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel continues our live coverage from the scene off Biltmore Avenue. Vic, the fire is out, right?
Yes, we're actually at the corner of 1 St. Dunstan Road and Sterling Street, just up a few blocks from Biltmore Avenue. The fire is still smoldering. There are some hot spots. For the most part, though, they have everything under control. They've actually just released one of the engines and let that crew go. Take a look at, though, what they faced when they arrived around 3:30 this morning. Some incredible flames doing a lot of damage to this old Victorian house, 1922 built house. And the crews told me because of the way the house was built, there was a lot of extra challenges. There were no real firewalls or blocks to the flames going all over the place. They told me the first floor has extensive damage. The second floor is a total loss, but basically they've said this building is gutted, and right now they're in a salvage mode trying to pull out things like computers and other information from the doctor's office. This is Biltmore Family Medicine practice here, and Dr. Anderson, who owns the practice, has said that they will be contacting all of their patients directly and letting them know where things will go from here and how they will be able to get their care. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.